Well, good morning folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on a local stretch of river. This is the River Medway here in Kent, and I'm here to do a little bit of feeder fishing on this upper part of the stream. Now, I fished here before a few years back for some pike, did some dead baiting, didn't catch anything, but today I'm hoping get the feeder out, get some maggots out, and hopefully we'll catch some bream, maybe some roach, that kind of thing, some silvers. I've started my day off by getting some of this in, and this is a kind of little homemade ground bait, pack bait kind of thing that I made up last night. Sort of in the more traditional American style of fishing where you kind of pack bait around your lead. This is kind of like an oat based with some sweet corn and some sweet liquid in there. Secret recipe, of course. So I've got some of that out straight away just to kind of get the fish into the swim. And I've also got a pint of maggots to go on my Daiwa Matchman feeder rod. So I'm just about to set that all up, and hopefully got a good kind of 6-7 hours today to get some fish out, hopefully. So yeah, let's crack on. Now, one of the things I absolutely love about these feeder rods is that you get different quiver tips, and this is my lightest one. I think this is about an ounce. Which is going to give us better bite indication. I'm not expecting anything big today, so I'm going to go for the lightest quiver tip that I can for my rod. And then yeah, I'm going to go for a maggot feeder and cast that out kind of, I've baited over towards the lilies over there, so cast this out that way and hopefully get some action. I've essentially come today because there's been a big dry spell here in Kent. We've had about 3 weeks of no rain, at least in my area, and we had like 2 big heavy days of rain. So where this water would have been a lot clearer last week, it's kind of murkied up, which I think will be better for fishing. We've chosen hopefully the right day. It's also a bit of a cold drop. I've just seen a swirl out in the middle, that's nice. But yeah, there's been a bit of a cold drop. We've had pretty mild weather through October so far, but today's the first day where it's like below 10 degrees. Everyone's out in their fleeces and their jumpers, so yeah, hopefully today we can catch the fish. So just while I'm setting this rod up, I'll talk to you about my strategy today. So as it's the colder months, natural baits are going to be particularly prevalent when you're fishing in the winter. And that's because at this time of year, all the natural bait that would naturally grow in the water is at its peak. This is when kind of all your natural bits and pieces in the water that the fish would eat are at their peak. So to contend with that, you kind of need to match it and go with other natural baits, because that's what they're feeding on at the moment. So that's why I've got this kind of mix with corn in it. The sun's come out. I've got a lovely pot of mixed maggots that were in my fridge overnight, and they're just kind of coming back to life now. And I've also got my secret recipe. Don't share this with anyone. So this is corn that kind of was in the fridge for a few days, maybe even a week, and it kind of gone a bit sticky. I'll put a clip in now of how sticky it's gone. All right, train line. And I've added to that some oil and some flavouring, some garlic, particularly the stink of garlic, and those will be my hook bait to kind of stand out, and I'll chuck a couple in as I cast, but that's kind of my secret ingredient today, something really stinky to try and bring the fish in. So yeah, I'm going to go for a maggot feeder, which is something I recently got into, and I've actually had pretty good success actually. But today is all about just having a nice chill day down by the river. It's like a really nice stretch because other than the trains going past occasionally, it's very, very quiet. A few dog walkers. But yeah, it's a lovely little stretch. Right, put this behind us, and then we can tie this up. Now what's nice is, as I've been sitting here tying up my rig, I've been able to just kind of watch the water, and where I've been putting in that bait this morning, I've just had a little silver jump about 5 foot from where I'm sat, and there's definitely a lot more swells in the swim now than there were when I got here. And I always find that's probably the trickiest part of fishing on a river, is not knowing which swim to choose. I'm very indecisive as a person, so I kind of walked past this area and saw a couple swells in the general area in between these swims and decided this one, there's the pads I can cast to, there's some hanging trees on the other side, it's probably the best looking swim for me to cast from. So it's always a lovely confidence boost on a river. Literally silver's jumping out in front of me right now. I don't know whether that's because there's pike pressure here and the silvers are running and jumping from that, or whether that's just them feeding. There's loads of silvers moving at the moment. Right, I will talk you very quickly through my setup just because I'm itching to get out there. So I've literally got a size 12 hook. I've gone for kind of a slightly more round hook. I don't know if you can see that, which should hopefully keep the fish on, supposedly, what the guy in the tackle shop said. And my setup here, as you can see, is literally 2 line stops and then a little quick change swivel that I can clip in my little maggot feeder onto, so I can change that if I need to. So I'm going to take my maggots, and the most important thing to do first is do your hook bait first. If you do the feeder ones first, they'll just all wriggle out before you ever had a chance to put your hook bait on. There you go, 3 maggots on there, and then just open up the feeder. It's got like a nice silicone lid, this one, and just scoop up some of them, and that is ready to cast. I'm going to adjust my hook length just a little bit. Now, based on the action that I've seen this morning so far, just out in the middle here is probably my best bet. So I'm just going to make sure my drag is flat. I do, spot on. And then we can sit this with our bank stick. Tie it up. Make sure to put the lids back on your maggots. I've had one too many trips where I've tipped my maggots all over the floor. It's been a nightmare. Now my job today is literally sit here and watch the tip of that rod to see when it goes. Lovely. Now, I always find with fishing is when you're not paying attention that the fish start biting. So I'm going to do some rummaging, and hopefully that little superstition is true. Do some tidying up. That is kind of the good thing about feeder fishing, is because you have to constantly recast to get bait out. You never sat there for too long without bait on your hook, because if it has been nibbled off, like sometimes it does, you'll find out soon enough because you're recasting so frequently. It's always nice when you're doing feeder fishing to see it go the first time. It just gives you that assurance, really, that there are fish in the area. There's another little bite. Obviously you're waiting for it to properly bend round. Try a fish like that. That's how you start the day, with a lovely little roach. Gorgeous little fish, just getting back. Well, I've just done the most important thing a fisherman can do, which is get off the mark and not blank. And what every angler should also do is get their rod straight back out once it's entangled.
Very often that you can fish that section where I am, and you can run a stick float through, but I made a big mistake today because it's absolutely solid with bleak. I've fed almost 3 pints of maggot already.
Wow.
And I don't think I've had to get the roach. What I've done is I've put bait dropper down. Another little roach.
Well folks, I was just having a lovely chat with one of the guys that runs this stretch. He was obviously talking to me about the conditions of the river. I don't fish here often, so I was getting some good insight about, he thinks personally the best thing to do is float down and catch some chub, and Bream doing that. But I literally caught a little roach in front of him, and he said that's bigger than anything he's had all day, so maybe I'm a bit more wise than he is at this point. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, just catching a bigger roach than he's had all day in the space of time that he was stood here talking to me. I think there's a tiny fish on the end, just by the way it's twitching. Let's find out. Feels like a tiny little one, it might have just come off. A little one on. Here we go, making a bit of a mess of myself, but just ever so slightly lip hooked on this one. Okay. Another cute little roach. Get him back. The feeder is still providing me with fish, so I find if you hook maggots in the very, very end, the back end of the maggot, they wriggle way more than if you hook them in the front end. Always got to bring a towel or a rag or something when you're fishing, because it does get blooming messy. Here's Breamy again. Take a look at this. Take a look at this bad boy. Oosh. He's off. Back in on the Bream train. There we go, another lovely little Bream. Covered in slime, of course, from the Bream. There you go, cute little roach there. Bream, Bream, Bream. Bream. Definitely Bream. Yes! Biggest Bream of the day on the broken net. Still hooked. Just in the lip there. And there we go. Another gorgeous, chunky Bream out of the river. Can't ask for any more than that. Let's get him back into the water. Goodbye, Mr. Bream. Off he goes. Man, now for a day's fishing you can't really ask for more. I turned up this morning, everyone was down the other end, and I came up here on my own, couldn't see much action, got my bait in, and suddenly all the fish are in my swim. Nobody else down there has caught anything, and it looks like I'm just having all the luck today. So yeah, very happy. And obviously river fishing, for me at least, is much harder than lake fishing. It's hard to find the fish first and foremost, and also they're, you know, way more wild, they've been caught less, so they're a bit more skeptical. So I've had a lovely day. Even if you don't like Bream, I'm sure you can appreciate that. A day out fishing, this gorgeous scenery behind me, just waiting for those bites on the feeder. It's been a great day. It's been a great day. And these are the boys that have done it for me today, these mixed maggots. And to be fair, I don't even know how they end up getting these blue ones and the yellow ones. I mean, red and white obviously very common. Anyone know down below? Let me know where all these different colours of maggots come from. Is it just different species that they change the colour for, or is it how they're bred? I actually really wish I caught that Bream bite on camera, because I would say the top third of my rod properly bent round. It's probably the biggest bend in that rod I've seen yet, so I was chuffed. And obviously after it picked it up, it started swimming towards me and it went slack, as Bream do, and then I was like, right, picking this up, setting that hook, and away we went. Lovely little Bream. It is a shame that Bream don't fight as hard, you know, they just kind of swim towards you, but nevertheless, a fish is a fish. Definitely not in focus. But the fish is the priority right now. Come on. Feels like a bream. Boy. Digging itself. Does feel a little carp. It's almost certainly a bream. I've caught an eel! Look at my neck.
Hello.
Hello.
I saw you got something.
I thought it was a bream.
Right.
It's an eel.
It's funny, I was only saying to my friend the other day
Yeah.
that neither she or I have seen an eel for a couple of years down here.
There you go.
And here we are, 2 days later.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're slippery, aren't they?
How am I going to unhook that?
Get the towel round him. Get the towel round the back of his neck.
Oh, this was not on my cards today. Mr. Eel.
Real bugger to cook.
Yeah.
They taste of nothing when you've cooked them.
Yeah, I think I've had them once in sushi, but I know you want to get rid of this hook as much as I do. There we go. Thank you very much. Oh, that was quite a shock.
Well, it's not the sort of thing that happens every day, is it?
All I've had is bream all day and suddenly an eel.
Well done.
Oh, thank you very much. I just had an eel.
Oh, you had an eel?
Yeah.
Did you get any bream?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've had half a dozen bream.
Did it make a difference going down?
I've just kept doing feeding.
Oh, right.
That's what I put a float out for a little bit, but I wasn't having any luck. It was going upstream, my float.
It's slower now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Battery's about to die on the camera, but that was the last thing I was expecting to catch today. My towel is covered in slime, and so is my arm. I don't know if you can see that. Absolutely covered in it. It's gross. So I'll use up the rest of my maggots, and then I think it's home time. But it's been a great session. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for some more content. I've got a couple of films coming out soon. Keep your eyes peeled.